35 of the 36 times that Jesus has a discourse with somebody, a conversation with somebody in the Bible, it's not in the religious temple. It's not in the religious place. He's not where he's supposed to be. He's misplaced. So I want to unpack that. We're going to unpack that. Naeem is going to, a former Muslim guy preaching next weekend, is going to help us unpack that. And we're going to talk about this, okay? Where are you already? Where you already are is Jerusalem, all right? That's why we have a set of a coffee break room right there, okay? That's what that whole thing is about right there. This is your coffee break room. For you, maybe it's your kid's soccer team, you know, it's your neighborhood literally or whatever. I'm going to be in John 4, and it's one of the longest discourses that Jesus has in the Bible with the least likely person that you would possibly imagine that it would be. And it's kind of like Jesus is in the break room at the office, okay? Jesus left Judea and returned to Galilee, and he had to go through Samaria on the way. Eventually, he came to the Samaritan village of Sychar, near the field that Jacob gave to his son, Joseph. Jacob's well was there, and Jesus, tired from a long walk, sat wearily beside the well at noontime. First thing I want you to understand about Jesus being misplaced and about you being misplaced, it's not going to make a lot of sense until I unpack it, but it's that Jesus was there. He was there. It says he had to go through Samaria. What's interesting about that is that Jews didn't go to Samaria. All right? In the same way that Christians may not go to wherever, you fill in the blank, that the good Christians don't go to this place, good Jews did not go to this place, and it was Samaria. Because the Samaritans were people who worshiped God, and they were kind of Jews, but they weren't. And they worshiped God in a different way, and they were Jews that had intermarried with other people, and so they were like, oh, no, we don't go through Samaria. Let me show you the map, okay? Here's what would happen. A good Jew in that day would leave Jerusalem, and they would go through Ephraim, and if they were going up into Galilee, they would literally cross the river, the Jordan River, go over here, cross the river back again to get back to Nazareth. That was normally what they would do because they did not want to be in Samaria. Samaria was a no-no. Yet Jesus did away with all the common prejudices of his time and resolutely went straight through Samaria. So when it says Jesus had to go through Samaria, it's because Jesus loved everybody. And Samaria was the obvious place that Jesus needed to go. There for you is an obvious place that you need to go. Maybe it's the water cooler. Again, whatever it is. But the problem is, a lot of Christian people are doing this same thing. Instead of going right through Samaria, instead of going to the obvious places right around them where people need the living water, they're going around it. We have our own, schools and our own radio stations, and we have all of our own little stuff so that we can, our own sports teams or whatever, so that we can avoid going through Samaria when that's the exact opposite of what Jesus did and the exact opposite of what we're supposed to do. And maybe, like the Samaritans of Jesus' day, maybe that makes you uncomfortable. Those kids that you live with, next door to, those parents of the kids in the soccer team, maybe they make you uncomfortable. Maybe they have a different ethnicity, like the Samaritans. Maybe they have different religious beliefs, like the Samaritans. Jesus had to go through Samaria. Maybe they have a different sexual preference. Maybe they have a different social stature. Maybe they have a different Major League Baseball, preference, affiliation. I understand. You may not be comfortable being there, but while they are right in front of you, you need to go be there. That's where they are. The reason Christianity is often so ineffective is because Christians are doing the same thing. They're going around Samaria, and Jesus can't do that. He doesn't do that. Why? Because his mission was to go for Samaria. That's why he's here. Listen, I'm not saying that you should be going out of your way to be around people who need Jesus. I'm saying you should stop avoiding the ones who are already there, right in front of you. You want an example? Here's a painful one. For all of you who are heterosexual Christians, are you friends with anybody in the LGBT community? Anybody that's gay, lesbian? I bet you know some. I bet there's some in your break room. What would Jesus do? And just as importantly, when you're there, be there, you know? Don't take your stupid phone into the break room and play Candy Crush the whole time. Do that on office time. You go be around everybody else, all right?